no outcast. Can we all say the ONESON? Hashtag. Wait a minute. At last, it's a Doneson podcast.
Now, I went ahead and I applied for a part-time job.
With who?
Starbucks.
Okay.
And
Tell us more.
to my surprise,
Uh-oh.
people were talking about everybody. You know, it's different from when you're a customer and everybody's all professional and everything like that, right?
Right.
But when you're behind the counter, it's a totally different thing,
Is
right?
it? What happened?
Now, to my surprise, people were talking about everybody, even about each other, right?
Okay.
Now, they said to me, Rod, don't mention a word. I said, okay. I was fired from Starbucks.
Oh, wow. That didn't last long.
Nobody want to know why I was fired?
We do, of
Yeah,
course.
you telling everything.
You're right.
Yep.
I got fired because I was spilling the beans.
Yeah.
You get it? Spilling the beans?
Yeah. Boom.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Don't forget to tune in every Monday on anywhere where you may listen to a podcast like Spotify, Apple, Google Play, etc. And catch us every Wednesday on YouTube for the Doneson podcast. All right. Now, this group of series we're going to do is going to be about health, right?
Okay.
And before we get into it, I want to introduce a special guest.
All right.
His name is John Davis.
Okay.
How you doing, John? Fantastic. Okay. John is a native to Nashville, and he spent his entire life here.
Okay.
John is a decorated sales strategist, sports enthusiast. Now, he broke generational barriers by becoming the first millionaire who did not own slaves.
Okay. You know what?
Getting on what?
Slaves.
I'm about to go.
He changed his lives. And basically, today, he wants to share his story of being a diabetic.
Okay.
And hopefully he can enlighten us all about this disease.
Yeah.
And the subject today is about diabetes, but we'll come back to that. Welcome to the show, John.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Yeah,
John.
glad to be here.
Okay.
All right.
About damn time.
You know, we have a waiting list.
Yeah, you know.
All right. But until then, let's go with Gossip in the City with Andy.
Gossip in the City is brought to you by Black Walnut Ice Cream. Damn, that shit good after midnight watching Netflix. Moss Point, Mississippi. I went to dinner with 47 other people at the Coco Loco Mexican restaurant. While I was at the table, bored out of my damn mind, I Googled, is Moss Point, Mississippi safe? Let me read out loud what the results were. The chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime in Moss Point is 1 in 48. Based on FBI crime data, Moss Point is not one of the safest communities in America. Relative to Mississippi, Moss Point has a crime rate that is higher than 73% of the state's cities and towns of all sizes. All of a sudden, I heard someone say, "Nigga, get your goddamn hands out of my fucking pocket." Everybody screaming and hollering. I lost $20 worth of jewelry that night. Portsmouth, Virginia. Where it's a shortage of curly-head Negroes, the women in Portsmouth want the brothers with good hair. Dark-skinned brothers can't even find a date in Portsmouth. Now they got the brothers getting jury curls again. I mean, you got dark-skinned brothers out here with nappy-ass beards walking around here looking like voodoo dolls with good hair. Dayton, Ohio. How about this? I've come to the conclusion that bad fast food ratings equal bad fast food workers. Burger King, 1129 Brown Street, 3.6 stars. Rally's, 1111 South Smithville Road, Dayton, Ohio, 45403, 3.6 stars. Wendy's, 1507 Wayne Avenue, 3.5 stars. It's so bad that they're offering if you come work with us, we'll pay you to finish high school. Damn.
Thanks, Andy, for gossip in the city.
God.
All right. So here we are again. Here we are.
Here we are.
All right.
Here we go.
We've been doing a good job at here. There's some smart people. Montana, you're smart.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Unc, you're very smart.
No, I'm the dumbass.
Okay. Andy's smart.
Kind of.
Oliver is smart. I haven't done one yet.
Yeah,
People don't realize that it's very hard to answer these questions. Wouldn't you agree, JD?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Especially when it's 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. You think you can do better than them, JD? By just circumstance?
Let's roll with it.
Let's roll with it!
Doneson Trivial Show. This is how it goes. You're asked 4 questions. You have to get 3 out of 4 right. If not, you're a dumbass. And here's your host, Rod.
Okay, JD, you watched the show. John
Yeah.
Davis, JD for short. It's 4 questions. You got to get 3 out of 4 right. If not, you's a dumbass. Question number 1. In the year 1900, what were the most popular first names given to a boy and girl babies born in the United States? Was it A, William and Helen, or B, John and Mary? I can repeat that if you want.
Okay, so we're talking about Americans. We're talking about European Americans, or are we talking about?
African American? We're talking about the United States.
Okay, so we're talking about both.
Everybody.
Okay, everybody,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. There ain't no Shaquita in here.
Yeah.
I think I know that is.
It's either A, William and Helen, or B, John and Mary.
I'm going to go with
B.
John and Mary.
Yeah,
B.
me too.
You're correct, JD.
I would go with that too.
All right.
So
Number
confident.
2. How many teaspoons of sugar does the average American eat and drink every day? Is it A, 22, or B, 36?
I'm going to go with B, 36.
You're right, Jizzle. You're right, JD.
Man, what
Damn.
can I say?
We over it.
Well, you at least got to get 50% of these right.
We're going for 4 for 4.
All right. Question number 3. How many notes are there on a standard grand piano? A, 112, or B, 88?
112.
That's wrong.
It's wrong. It's 88. I knew that.
Oh, shit, I never played no piano.
You got to get this one right.
Okay.
Number 4. What type of dog is Handsome Dan, the mascot of Yale University? A bulldog, or B, a golden retriever?
Bulldog.
You're right! I can't believe this! It's our first guess, is what I can't believe.
He can't believe that you are not a dumbass. That's what he's trying to say.
We know that, though.
That's what he's trying to say. Look.
Congratulations! Our first guess is not a dumbass.
All right.
Good job.
What you say?
All right, shout out Montana.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Get it.
Of this song. Yeah.
You wrote me?
I wrote you.
It's just something about this later.
I'm about to learn how to dance to this song.
Montana is the crazy.
Don't take much.
Yeah, look at that.
Rhythm.
Left shoulder dip
There you go.
twice. Come on.
It's maybe
Left
game
shoulder
over
dip
for ya.
twice. Now
Really,
back,
really,
2 steps.
really, really,
5 steps now.
really, really,
2 hops to
really,
the side.
really.
Gangsta lean.
Bring it back now, y'all. All right. So today's letter is titled The Truth.
Uh-oh.
And it is from initials KY from Mound Bayou, Mississippi. Oh my God, I've never heard of this place.
Wow.
Yeah, so age range is 25 to 35. This should be interesting. So the truth, KY states, the mind is an incredible thing. I can't stop thinking about things that I shouldn't be thinking about. I've done some wrong in my lifetime. I've said some things that I shouldn't have said. I've done some things that I shouldn't have done. And I've been around people who I've done manipulative things to behind their back that they are unaware of. Who is this person? I can't get certain things out of my mind. The bad overshadows the good. And oftentimes I can't do enough good to overshadow the bad. I want to tell people that I'm a fake, but I can't convince my mouth to speak it. I want to tell people that I'm lonely, but my heart won't open up. I don't think they can handle the truth. The truth about their badass kids.
Damn.
The truth you told me not to tell, but I did only because I wanted to be the truth when it came to being all-knowing. I live in Mississippi, and I will confess and name the initials to people I have done wrong. AC, CW, MK, RC, MG, ST, SB. I'm doing confessions in stages. And soon you all will know.
Morse code or something.
I was looking for my initials. I don't even live in Mississippi.
And soon you all will know the truth. I already know it's game over.
Oh, man. Hey, Andy, what you think about this letter?
If you really want to know the truth, really, what's this Negro's initials again, KY? Well, KY, you give a new meaning to getting fucked. Damn. You can't even turn your back on Negroes for 10 seconds. I mean, you can't look over your back, your shoulder without the sleight of a hand. Hey, man, what were you just doing?
Oliver, what'd you think about this letter, man?
All right, we got a lot of listeners in Mississippi that listen to the Doneson podcast. I don't even live in Mississippi, and I was checking for my initials.
Me too.
Once they find out who wrote this letter, and they will, it's just a matter of time. As the black folks would say, you can cancel Christmas.
Montana, what you think about this letter?
I think that KY is full of it. I mean, the thing is, no, let me say this. I want KY to tell us what's really going on. All this, I did some bad, I did some good. You know, I'm trying to confess to these people. I want to know what he did, number one. And number two, I think, put it this way, you got to right your wrongs at some point. So if he's done wrong, as long as he's going forward, trying to do better, I'm all right with that. And he's from Mississippi, so, I'm going to be on his team anyway.
Okay. All right, Unc, what you think?
Complete fake. KY fake, man. He ain't trying to clean up nothing. He just trying to feed his own ego, seems like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't trying to do anything right by anybody. I think he's a brother of Sybil.
Yeah, he's young. He's 25
You
to
know what I'm
35.
saying? Yeah,
He's young, too.
Yeah, he's conniving, scheming. Don't mean nobody no good. Don't even mean himself any good.
Oh, damn, dirty dog.
Yeah, backbiting.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with a little backbite.
Man, give me my meat back in my back. You know what I'm saying? I need that. This dude here, man, he just disgusting.
Shark mouth, huh?
But you said, yeah. I don't know what to say about him, man. He ain't on my team. That's for sure.
Did anybody check their initials when he was reading it out? Even
Oh,
though,
yeah. Oh,
hey,
yeah.
wait a minute, you are from Mississippi.
I ain't
I'm
from
not on the
Mississippi. I'm
list.
from Virginia,
All right,
so
your initials were not on there.
My initial's not on the list.
Okay. All right. John, JD, what did you think about this letter?
I'm with Unc, man. I don't think he about that life.
All right. So the topic that we have today is diabetes. And I've lost some close family members and friends to diabetes. And I've never had diabetes, but I'm aware of the devastation that it causes within families on there. And that's why we have a very, very, very special guest today. His name is John Davis. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here. Thanks, everybody.
Definitely. So what we just have some questions for you so we can just help the viewers out there as well as help the people on these panels. And if we can just get some life lessons from you, that'd be great. And I'll go ahead and start off if that's okay.
Sure.
All right. Now, I know we've talked before, and there's an adjustment period when it comes to diabetes. Could you share with us what types of lifestyle adjustments have you had to make from having diabetes?
Yeah, so lifestyle adjustments. I mean, for me, now I wear an insulin pump now. So, it transformed, my life. So, so day to day, you really have to be aware and be mindful of what you're putting into your body. Counting carbs, making sure that you're getting, consistent meals throughout the day. That's the main thing because, when I was younger, I would, just wake up in the morning, no breakfast, and just kind of go half the day without eating. And then, I would be fine with that. But now it's just, on an insulin pump, you're consistently getting insulin. So you have to make sure that you're, putting food in the body, consistently. And not so much, large meals, but, just, small meals throughout the day.
Okay.
So that's probably one of the biggest things. I know a lot of diabetics that I know, that they weren't as fortunate to have, access to the health care that I've had. So, they're pricking their fingers 3 or 4 or 5 times a day, walking around with syringes and, insulin vials. And, that can be a challenge, right? Just, just programming your body to know, oh, okay, I got to check my blood sugar. Okay, I need to take insulin. So the pump really, makes it so much easier because, you've got what they call a continuous glucose monitor. So it pretty much tells the pump what the blood sugar is throughout the entire day, so it knows how much insulin to give. So as long as you're putting in the carbs into the pump, then it'll give, adequate insulin. So, prior to that, prior to having the pump, it was a challenge for me, especially. A lot of people get diabetes and they don't even know it. And I can tell you that how I found out, just kind of really, personalize it, was about 6 years ago. I remember one night I had real bad stomach pain. It was real bad. I was going to the bathroom over and over every 15 minutes, and I couldn't figure out, where the pain. I'm talking about excruciating pain, worst pain that I've ever had in my whole life. Right. And I went to the emergency room, and they just said it was like, you just got some, stomach infection, upset stomach. Sent me home, and I was, no matter where I would turn my body, I couldn't get the pain from my stomach, and it was still, I felt like I was, I had cotton mouth, kept drinking water, kept using the bathroom over and over and over again. So then I finally went back to the hospital and told them what was going on, and finally they said, well, let's.
Was this the same hospital?
No, I went to a different one.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So I went to Vanderbilt that time around. So first place I went to was out Stonecrest.
Woo!
Yeah. So
disclaimer: we do not.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they just cut me loose.
This is here in Nashville, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Doneson legal.
Yeah.
That was illegal.
But went to Vanderbilt, and they did a lot more testing, and they concluded that my organs were failing because my blood sugar was like over 1,000. So it was so
What's a
high.
normal? I didn't mean to interrupt. What's a normal blood sugar?
So normal should be between 70 and 120 is what normal should be. Absolutely. So mine was like over 1,000. So
Good
and
gracious.
they were like, yeah, your kidneys are failing. They had to put me like on an insulin drip, and started doing dialysis because it was that's how acute I was when I went into the hospital, and I walked in there. So it was it went from, and I just kind of went downhill from there to where they were, you can tell a lot of times when doctors are saying, the next 24 hours are going to be critical. Yeah. That's kind of what they say. They don't, they don't really give a prognosis. They'll just say, let's keep a close eye on them for the next 24 hours. So that's kind of what they were doing. And, I was, kidneys were failing, and it was tough. I mean, so that really, for me, just kind of, it really changed my life, and it was, very impactful. So
you didn't know that when you went in, you didn't know you had diabetes.
Yeah,
my God.
Nah, I mean, I was, living my best life. So I actually I had pancreatitis too when I went in as well. Okay. So, so that was causing, a lot of other issues as well. So it was, it was tough for sure.
Goodness.
Wow. So did you, are you a drinker?
I used to be, not anymore.
Okay. That's because of the diabetes?
Yeah, I mean it's tough to really manage it with alcohol because alcohol has so much sugar in it. Especially, I used to drink a lot of Hennessy.
Yeah.
The tequila, hard liquor.
Right.
And pretty heavy. So.
Yeah.
And for me, it kind of ran in my family as well. So my mom, she's diabetic as well. So it was kind of, I had, multiple family members. So, we always kind of thought as a kid, I got two sisters as well. We were thinking, who's going to be the one that gets it? And, I think just drinking a lot, at a younger age, I think it kind of progressed it to where, came up on me all of a sudden. So for sure.
Wow.
I think that had a lot to do with it as well.
Can I ask something? You mentioned about now having like the insulin pump.
Yeah.
Is that like newer technology?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's been around for 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
But it used to be people. I don't know if you've seen people. They got the little machine and they prick their finger and they have to take a syringe and draw up insulin. But now technologies and the advancements in healthcare. I mean it's just you can they got insulin pumps and they got continuous glucose monitors. It's just little sensors, and they communicate with your smartphone, tell you what the blood sugar is at all times. So
okay, that's good.
yeah, that's what you really want. However, I mean, I think a key thing is just having access to healthcare, right? So a lot of people that don't have access to healthcare, I'm sure that's important right there.
Yeah.
Just having that because you're not getting an insulin pump
Right.
with no
health care.
Wait. So if I have diabetes or I'm diagnosed with diabetes and I don't have insurance,
right.
and if I have diabetes, I'm not getting a pump?
I mean, if you don't have insurance, you can get a pump, but you're going to pay for it.
Okay.
But typically, people that don't have insurance, they don't have $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to pay out of pocket for
Right,
it. So,
Right. Okay.
yeah, so that's the challenge.
But then you
there.
have to rely on like government assistance and stuff to go through programs.
Right. I mean, of course, we know how that goes, right?
Yeah.
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 Wow. Mm-hmm. You had mentioned something about diet earlier.
Absolutely.
You said you would wake up in the middle of the day, or wake up and then not eat until maybe later on.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
I mean, I mean, just full transparency and being honest, because I think being honest with people really, can help people, right?
Yeah.
So even after I was diagnosed, I still kind of, just you get, that young mentality is like, whatever,
I'll be
So
all
I would
right.
still, sometimes go, it'd be 3:00 in the afternoon and still hadn't ate
Wow.
anything, right? And just kind of drinking coffee all day,
Yeah.
and kind of relying on that sugar, to get the carbohydrates. So, so probably within the last year, I think I really buckled down and started taking it seriously, and watching my diet and things like that. So,
So what was that like psychologically for you to go from, because 6 years ago wasn't a long time,
Right.
and to go from not being diabetic, living your
Right.
best life, and then now I have this diagnosis and I have to move completely different.
yeah, I mean, I think it was a blessing and a curse, right? So, if you go, obviously, with alcohol, we know how much that costs, right?
Yeah.
And, I wasn't buying cheap alcohol either, right?
Yeah.
So, I've always been like top shelf guy.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was, it saved my life because
Yeah.
it's like I wasn't, the path I was on, obviously, I think if I was going to continue to drink like that, I mean, there wouldn't be a John Davis right here, talking on this
Yeah.
on this panel, right? So it's so I mean, that's how I look at it. And it was I mean, I feel so much better every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everybody knows when you drink and you have that hangover the next day. To not have that anymore, it's and it just, it's just, I feel a lot more, healthier and, have that energy and have that kick, So yeah, I mean, I really, for me, like I said, tons of money too that I save now as well. That
How
I'm
much
not spending.
money was you spending a month?
Oh,
You say
man.
on top shelf
I
alcohol.
mean, I probably was paying some people's mortgage.
Yes.
What?
Yeah,
Alcohol.
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I didn't.
You didn't share?
Well, you already know. I mean, it wasn't.
You don't share your top shelf.
Yeah, I mean, I was that was my thing though. It came with the lifestyle, right?
Right.
So it was like if I go, and you with me,
We all
everybody,
going.
everybody drinking good.
Yeah.
You know, never had I had more friends than I ever had in my whole life because I had a bar in my house. And it was like, hey,
Let's go to your house.
yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's so it's obviously, you providing that lifestyle for people, and then when you stop providing it, you kind of see who
Your real friends
are.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm
Kinda
sorry I
disappear.
haven't called you in about 8 months.
Yeah.
But you ain't drinking no more. You pretty much answered that question on why blood sugar levels are so important. And what you said the norm was for that?
So it should be between 70 and 120.
70 and 120.
Yeah.
Yours was over 1,000?
Over 1,000, yeah. So, so you get over 1,000, that's
Right.
when you start having, kidney failure.
Right. And you're lucky you didn't go into what they call a diabetic coma.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then I can relate to that because my mother, she was born a diabetic. She was type 1. She was born a diabetic. And I used to watch her all the time, to prick herself all the time and, shoot herself with the little syringes and all that. And as a child, it was very devastating. We had a very devastating episode. I think I was around 9 or 10. And my brother, he was 13. My brother 3 years older than me, and then my sister was 5 years younger than me. I was the middle child. My sister was the baby, and my brother was the oldest. And my mother went into a diabetic coma. Scared us to death, man. We trying to shake and wake up, and she just laying there. So my brother ran to the phone and dialed for the ambulance. The ambulance came. And by the time they got there, she snapped out of it.
Yeah.
And they asked her, did she need to go to the hospital? She said, no, I just didn't take my insulin that time. And she took a proper insulin and she got back well. My mother passed when she was 82, but she was diabetic her entire life.
My God.
So
Same thing happened to my mom.
Yeah.
I can remember, and that's the thing, you can have, you can go into two different type of diabetic comas. You can have one where the blood sugar is so low that you go into a coma, and then you can have one where, it's so high.
Yeah.
And that's where, one, when it's so high, that's when the dehydration, kidneys are starting to fail. And then when it's so low, it's, there's two things that the brain has to function, sugar and oxygen. So when you get below, you get
level.
like 50s and the 40s, I see my mom, she would pass out. We used to try to put sugar in her mouth to get her. Yeah, so I saw that as a kid as well. So
it's crazy.
Goodness.
Wow. Now, I know I've been around a lot of people with diabetes. So how do you think people or just society in general should treat people who has diabetes?
Absolutely. So I think it starts and ends with education, right? Because a lot of it, we're talking about a lot of things that, the majority of people, they don't even know about.
Yeah.
We live in a reactive society, right? So a lot of people don't go to the doctor until they've got a problem.
Yeah.
So I think, I think right now, 10% of the country has, about 34 million people have diabetes right now in the country. So, education. And
I wonder how many people have it that don't know it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So out of the 34 million, there's about 7 million that were undiagnosed. Yeah. So those are the numbers that.
And that, I guess a lot of this could be maybe preventative, or if you go to the doctor maybe on a regular basis.
Right. So.
Get checked out.
Right. And then, what makes it, I think, when you look at diabetes, a lot of people that have it, and then a lot of people that it becomes fatal for, they have, those, comorbidities, those underlying issues where it's like they have diabetes, but they also have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Or they have, heart disease or, things like that. So that's what makes it, a lot more, hard to treat when you've got all those different issues going on, those underlying health issues.
So with that, what preventative steps would you say people should take to avoid this disease if possible?
Right. So I think diet, number one. I mean, I think the one thing that you can control is what you put in the body, right?
This is true.
For us specifically, I think if we can avoid the fast food, right?
Yeah.
I think
Leave the Wendy's 4 for 4 alone.
Yeah, I mean,
But damn, man, come on, man. You could have left that part out for Wendy's.
yeah.
But go ahead.
I mean, I think eating healthy, exercise. I mean, because I wasn't, I've always been, real tall, thin, so I never really had to worry about, weight. But, I think if you can, have some exercise because even if it's just taking a slow walk around the neighborhood. I mean that's anything to get that cardio, right? So, but diet and exercise, and then I think education as well. Because a lot of times, that's something we learned about in school was like, hey, watch out, make sure you're, because this is a disease that it can put you in the ground.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I think for sure. I think those are some of the things that I think we should look at.
Now, you said diet, and I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I do the 4 for 4. You do the 4 for 4, Montana?
No, I do not.
You don't? I thought you said it'd be like, the 4 for 4. I thought I was wasn't alone.
4 years ago.
So 4 for 4 is not good.
Well, I mean, anything.
The silence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing.
I know it's not good, but damn.
See, a lot of that fast food has so much sodium in it, right?
So much trash.
It's and the preservatives and things like that. So it's just unhealthy.
Yeah.
I can tell you that when I eat fast food, I can tell the difference. Like my hands will swell up. And and when I don't eat fast food, if I eat something like something at the house that I put together, like maybe like a salad or something, or just some protein.
Yeah.
But the fast food, it's a killer.
Because you don't know what's in it.
Yeah. Well,
really, that may tell you wit's in it, but
it's sodium and it's typically
sugar and carbs.
A 4 for 4, with the bread, it's it's just carbohydrates. Carbohydrates they turn to sugar.
Yeah.
So
ride back away.
If you can avoid anything white.
Yeah.
Right. So that's rice.
Oh, wait a minute.
Potatoes.
I like
yeah.
Oh, you talking about food?
Yeah, food.
Okay.
Yeah. So anything,
Starches.
rice, potatoes, all that, the body breaks that down and it turns into sugar. So it's, and I'm not, I love my mashed potatoes too.
Yeah.
But it's
Got to eat in proportion.
there you go. That's
Portion
what it's all
control
about.
is real. Yeah.
So, instead of, the mashed potatoes, maybe a sweet potato.
Right.
A baked sweet potato. So.
Right.
So good stuff here. Now, for those out there that don't know, could you just give us a very quick
Sure.
the difference between, I've heard this, I think Holly Berry has type 1?
Yeah.
And other people might have type 2. What's the
Right.
difference?
Yeah, so type 1 is where the pancreas doesn't produce enough insulin or none at all, right? And then type 2 is where the body is insulin resistant, right? So the insulin that your pancreas produced as a type 2 is resistant, so you have to actually take insulin, So that's really the difference, just to kind of.
But they said that you can reverse type 1, right?
Well, they say you can reverse type 2 through diet and exercise, because the body's the pancreas is the insulin that it's making. Your body is your insulin resistant. So what you can do, you can by a proper diet and exercise and limit the carbohydrates, and obviously most people with type 2 typically might be overweight as well. So you can take a lot of that weight down, and then good diet and exercise. So, but then type 1 is just one of those things where it's the pancreas just doesn't make enough insulin, so you have to have it no matter what. So, and that's kind of like I'm type 1, so that's why I have to have insulin no matter what. So it's it's a harsh reality to wake up to say no matter what, for the rest of my life, I have to have this.
Yeah.
Have to have this drug, have to have insulin. So it's from just accepting that mentally.
Yeah, because I don't want to have nothing for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you got that right. Man, my hat's off to you on there.
Right.
Right. Anything else?
Sir.
All right. Anything else that you want our listeners and viewers to know about diabetes, or just a plea or a public service announcement?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we look at access to healthcare, I think we could stop a lot of people from dying. Because I look at myself and I look at the access to the healthcare that I have. Right. I think if that was universal, to where no matter what what income bracket you're in or what neighborhood you live in, you can get access to the best. Right. I think that would help out a lot.
Yeah.
Because if you give everybody the very best,
yeah,
then that has a huge impact. as far as treating the disease. So I think that's the biggest thing, I believe.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, thanks for tuning in to the Doneson podcast.
All right, peace out.